Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome everybody to the Hockey Think Tank podcast, brought to you by the hockeythinktank.com, a website for all players, parents, and coaches to go to get a little bit of education and a little bit of inspiration regarding the greatest game on the planet. What an episode we have for you guys here today. This is episode number 300, ladies and gentlemen, and we're 5+ years into this podcast. We are 300 episodes in, and again, in the title of this, a little bit of education, a lot of bit of inspiration. So today, what Jeff and I wanted to do is we wanted to talk about how this podcast has inspired us, how this podcast we know have inspired so many and thousands of you that listen to this every week from the feedback that we get from you. And it's all about inspiration, baby. It's all about inspiration. And I'm really, really excited to get going talking about that. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. We're going to get open. We're going to get vulnerable. We're going to have a good time here today. It's almost like a little reunion type thing. But the first thing, guys, talk about inspiration. We got some breaking news. We got some breaking news that we can't wait. We can't wait to share with you guys. I am so excited about this. But the talent of the podcast, my man, Jeffrey Scott Lavecchio, the Tat Man, the Zoolander male model, the one-tooth wonder, he's got some news for you guys. So let's bring on the talent of the podcast, Jeffrey Lavecchio. And Vechs, there's some stuff going on that I hear you might want to share with the planet Earth.
Planet Earth, hello, Jeffrey Scott. Breaking news. I don't even know how. This is like the first time I'm telling like anybody that is not like my immediate family. This is like, so I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do with my hands, guys. I'm going to keep it going. Basically, keep you on the edge of your seat. My wife and I are having a baby.
Let's go!
Steph's driving, so I know she can't.
She can't do the goal horn.
I'll make the goal horn noise myself. So, yeah, my wife and I are super excited. This will be coming out on Monday, and she's gonna announce to the world tomorrow on Ballantyne's Day that we're having a baby. So, pretty exciting times, and yeah, happy to share it with Hockey Think Tank podcasters first here.
Holy potatoes!
I got a new sweatshirt on that says "Dad" because somebody sent it to me. It came in the mail today, so I'm just, I'm embracing it. Let's go.
Hey, and also you're having a what?
Oh, not telling anybody that part yet.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know
that's
either.
staying a secret. Yep, Toph does know. Toph is one of the few people sworn to secrecy. So if it gets out, I know it was you rat.
Gotcha. I'm so happy for you and Kylie. I have to imagine with her following on the IG that this is going to go, it's going to be a crazy day for the two of yous tomorrow after announcing this thing. And so happy for you guys. This is really cool, man. I'm so excited to see you as a dad. You are going to be absolutely hilarious. And I can't wait. Like, I've been talking about dad stuff and just like the craziness of it and how insane being a parent is. And Vechs is always kind of like, I don't even know what you're like. What are you like when we talk parenting?
I'm just like, okay, yeah, I don't know what that's like yet. I don't have that experience in my life. But between you and Months, I've learned a lot. So I'm excited to get this thing going here.
And are you giving out like a due date? When is it due?
Yeah. I think right now they said September 9th. I don't know if that fluctuates or if it's just like, that's a hard date. I have no idea.
It's definitely coming out September 9th.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
no,
September 9th. Oh,
no. Oh boy. Get this guy some help, everybody. Get this guy some help. Flood his DMs with parenting advice, everybody.
Yeah. Needs it. Kid needs it. He's a rookie again.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, I'm so happy for you, like I said. So everybody send Vechs some love, send Kylie some love. And,
Maybe DM me if you got me on the gram at Jeff Lavecchio, blue check mark. What's up? Send me your one. You only get one best piece of parenting advice you can give to a new parent. First time new parent. I would love for our listeners, or in the hockey think tank community, if you're on the community, put that in there, please. I would love, like, I'm being totally honestly serious. Like, what do I need to know? Like, especially in the beginning, are there certain books I should read? Like, help me out here, fam. Send me one final best piece of advice, and I'll put those together and start trying to take action on them. Thank you.
There you go.
Preemptively, thank you.
There you go. I like it. Actually, I don't know if I said this on the last podcast, but I used the hockey think tank community for some advice last week. Actually, you remember what I said?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I love it. I mean, it's what we're doing with that thing, and the questions in there are awesome, and people helping people and connecting. Like it's pretty special. It's pretty awesome. It keeps growing too, which we love to see.
Yeah, for sure. So I used the hockey think tank community last week because my 6-year-old, who I love dearly, she on the playground last week, there was a boy that was, and again, you never know what actually happens on the playground. There's two sides to every story. But there was a boy that was kind of in her grill, I guess. And so she clocked him. She just punched him right in the shoulder and had to spend the day in the principal's office or spend lunch in the principal's office. So I actually have never been sent to the principal's office, nor has my wife. But we have our first child who's only 6, and she has been sent to the principal's office already. So I mentioned to the community, I'm like, I feel a little bit torn. Like, you know, on one hand, obviously violence is not the answer. And there's other things that she probably could have done first before, you know, punching this boy. But on the other hand, it was like, okay, she stood up for herself. And as a female to a male particularly, and I only have daughters, so this is all that I know, like I would love for that a trait to be in my daughters, just being able to be independent and stand up for themselves when they feel like they're getting wronged. And so I was a little bit torn on how to feel about it. And so I put it out to the community and got some unbelievable responses. Had some great responses from some military guys that are in there, particularly, which were great.
Loved their responses.
Loved their responses. And so that's what we're building with this community, guys. And just if you want a part of it, like, it's been awesome. It's been really, really cool. Go to community.thehockeythinktank.com and hop in with us. It is a paid community. We want to make sure that people are in there for the right reasons. And this doesn't end up being one of those, like, you know, communities where people just bitch about everything all the time. So you got to put a little bit of a skin in the game to get in there. But it's been great. It's been great. So really appreciate that. And I can't wait to see what your little one, whatever it is, what they're going to be up to when they're 6, if they're going to be in the principal's office or if, you know, maybe not.
I only went to the principal's office 2 times, 3 times. One of them was because I witnessed somebody stealing out of a locker in 6th grade, and they asked me. And I said, yo, snitches get stitches. I didn't see anything. I said nothing. I said, no, I'm wrong guy. I don't know. But what was the other time? Oh, I was play wrestle fighting, like, with one of my high school hockey teammates freshman year of high school, and they gave me a detention for that. And then I got in a tilt on the playground in 5th grade. So 3 times. One of them wasn't my fault. Yeah, I got in a tilly. Yep, happened.
Nice.
You went 0 times?
Yeah, not once.
This surprises no one.
I actually kind of think, like, maybe I should have got in more trouble. Feel kind of soft right now, but
that's okay. That was a great question you asked, though, in the community. Like, I was like, ooh, I want to know this answer. Like,
yeah,
there's no right way. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like the military guy's answer, though, for sure. That was my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you to everybody that has joined the community. Again, if you want to hop in there, it's been awesome so far. And yeah, so Vechs, today on this podcast, we are going to talk about some inspiring stuff. And we have the good fortune based on, where we've played, where we've coached, who we know. It seems like the higher the level you go up, the more unbelievable people you get to know, and then filtering it back down into youth hockey with all the people we've gotten to know that are awesome in youth hockey. Our podcast has been such a value add for us and hopefully for you guys based on the guests that we're able to bring on. And so we just want to thank all of our guests that have come on that are listening. And I know a lot of them listen, so that's pretty cool. And then we want to thank all of you for continuing to listen. And today we're going to talk about some inspiring stuff that we've learned throughout the podcast, talk about some of the guests that we've had on, talk about some of the lessons that we've learned, talk about anything and everything that has led to just like I said, a value add in all of our lives, and take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. 300 episodes, dude. Like, that's insane. That's actually insane.
So many episodes, and objectively speaking, we brought on so many people that add so much value to to us. But anybody listening, like, it's not us. It's like we bring on like sick guests who we know will add value. And so if you're a newer listener, I think that this episode would be great for you because you can, write some of these down and go back and check some of the older episodes out, because I mean, we've had straight bangers from 1 to 300, and we've had so many really, really impactful ones that literally have made me way better at life in so many different business ethics, in business, in my relationships, in how I treat people, like just so many different ways I've leveled up. Obviously hockey and coaching and thinking the game, and it's just really, really cool. Like looking at this list that we compiled here and going back and thinking about some of these. Pretty damn cool, man.
It's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty awesome. So we're going to talk about some of that stuff coming up here. But first, obviously, we want to thank the people that support us from our sponsorship standpoint too. And we'll get through these here. First person we want to thank is John Lounsbury with Gel Sticks. Gel Sticks has been our title sponsor since we've had a title sponsor. And go to you guys know it. If you guys have listened to all the time, go to GELSTX.com, use the coupon code ThinkTank and get an awesome discount on a weighted training stick. NTDP uses them, the pros use them, colleges use them, Vechs uses them in their gym. They also have lacrosse sticks. They also have golf clubs. And so just a phenomenal product. And so go to gelsticks.com, coupon code ThinkTank, one word, and get your discount on those weighted training sticks.
Thank you, Lounsy. I want to thank Train Heroic. Train Heroic is the unbelievable app where I house all of my online training and my in-person training. So all of my guys in the gym in the off season, they are all on the app with me so that they can track every single thing they do in the gym every single day. Everything from their sets, their reps, their rest time, everything is in this app that I use that helps me program so easily for both my in-person clients and 21 teams and organizations across North America that I'm working with this year. It's very easy for you to start up with me. My whole goal is to make quality training affordable, and Train Heroic allows that. So I can't thank them enough. Off season's coming up. Reach out to me, teams, organizations, individuals, for off season 2024 with Ripped Hockey. It will be the best one yet. You will get in better shape than you have ever been in your entire life. That will actually help you be better on the ice, not just better in the weight room. I literally promise that. It's how it changed my career. Also want to thank Cure Nutrition. What up? Got some CBD gummies right here. Cure Nutrition, CBD company I'm with. I take CBD twice a day, every single day. I've been taking it since 2017-18 season. Absolutely love it. Helps me think clearly, helps me recover. That's a big one. I have a lot of stress, just as far as like all the different things that I'm involved in every single day. So a lot of different stressors. So you need to really take care of your body, and CBD 100% gets me back to those homeostatic set points for all the different functions, systems in my body. If you have any questions on CBD, please do not hesitate to reach out and ask me. I've had tons of listeners over the last year or two reach out to me and ask me about it, and what, why, how, when, all those things. I'm really passionate about it because it definitely helps me perform better. So you can go to curenutrition.com, use my discount code GMBM, or reach out to me and ask ask anything you want, and I'll help.
Can we ask?
Please ask. It's what I'm here for.
Like it. All right. Also want to thank Helios Hockey, our newest sponsor, and this is a phenomenal product. It is a sensor that you put into your shoulder pads that gives you instant data, instant feedback on your play. Particularly, we're talking about your stride mechanics. Particularly, we're talking about an awesome hustle score and how hard you're working out there on the ice. Really, really cool for the younger kids. And the game changer is you get all of your shifts in your game cut up for you instantly right after the game. It pairs with your camera, your iPhone, your iPad, Live Barn, whatever it is you have on there, and you can get your shifts cut up for you right after the game. Absolute game changer. If I was a younger kid, I would have died for this thing. Absolutely died for this thing. So go to helioshockey.com. We also have an awesome discount with them. And if you put in the coupon code ThinkTank, one word, it will give all new Helios members 20% off their initial 12-month membership, and plus that sensor that you get to put in your shoulder pad, you will get that for free. So helioshockey.com free. Coupon code think
They were cones.
They were cones. And then thank you to icehockeysystems.com. These guys are the absolute best. And like, this website is an absolute game changer too. And they have thousands of drills on there, whiteboard explanations for coaches from some really high level hockey people, ability to draw up your drills, save them, build up a library, and send them out to everybody that you know. And that is with the associations platform that we have partnered with them with. And so if you get the associations tab, the platform that they have built, you can get this for every single coach in your organization. So imagine, as a hockey director, being able to build a habit library, a drill library, a structure and systems library for all of your coaches that they can go to get resources for their practice planning and for their game prep. It's just such a phenomenal tool, guys. Like, such a phenomenal tool. And you can get this for every coach in your organization, all in one fell swoop with a huge discount. So also, it is for the parents too. They have the Hockey Think Tank Parent Survival Guide, which you get within the association's platform as well. So not only are you educating your coaches, but you're educating your parents as well. For the hockey directors and the presidents out there, that means less phone calls and less angry emails from the parents. So go to icehockeysystems.com. Phenomenal guys today. And we do this, like, honestly, before every interview that we do, Vechs. And I really, really hope that you listeners don't think this is just a box that we check, that we have to thank you before every interview. We genuinely, hugely, any other adjective that means awesomely that you can think of, we just so much appreciate your support for what we do. Hopefully you see that through the passion that we bring to this podcast and the other educational and inspirational stuff that we do, like the community and Jeff's online training and the youth organization blueprint that we're doing. We just want to make a positive impact on the hockey world. And we just cannot thank you guys enough for continuing to support what we do, for giving us feedback that has helped us to be better and to impact even more people. And that's our why at the end of the day. The positive impact that we believe that we've made through 300 freaking episodes of this podcast helps me sleep a lot better at night, knowing that that impact has been made, because that is my why. I know that's my partner over there's why. And so we just really, really appreciate you. And we are looking forward to potentially another 300 more. Can you imagine if we did this for 10 years?
I mean, I don't see myself stopping,
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, it's like, why would we not just keep bringing on people that help other people and help ourselves learn from all these amazing guests? Like, the conversations have been electric for the last 5 years. And man, it's just like, the other thing too is just put yourself out there, not even like talking, like, hockey players listening, put yourself out there, like, let it all hang out, do everything you can. Like, don't be embarrassed. Like really, like, try to find that next level. And, to the parents listening in your own lives, like, the same thing. Anytime when we started podcasting, like, still everyone in the world wasn't podcasting at that time, and especially in hockey. And we're kind of like, yeah, look, let's just do this. Let's just try to add, let's try to give one person out there. If one person gets something great from this episode right now. Like, we did a good job, and we just kept building on that and building on that, and 10 people and 100 people and 1,000 people, 1 billion people. You get a car, everybody gets a car, right? And that's what we're trying to do with this thing, is just bring on as much information as we can, because obviously if you listen to this show every week, you're probably in the same mindset that Toph and I have lived our whole lives with. And that's just like, find a way to get 1% better every single day, because we know that when you do that over the course of weeks, months, years, decades, that every little 1% builds up, and you're just running up the stairs. And you look back, listen to us for 10 years, all the unbelievable guests that we will have had on by that next 300 episode mark. You know, we're only going to keep getting amazing guests that every single episode can add value to you, your hockey life, family life, all those types of things. So obviously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you as well. I'm excited to go over some of these here.
Yeah, for sure. We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. If you go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you can see all the available lines and all the available odds for all NHL games going on. That's right. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with the code THPN. New customers bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. So our goal with this episode is just, again, like we said, inspiration. Like, we're going to talk about some of the old episodes that we've done. We're going to talk about some of the effects that these people and these guests have had on us. We're going to talk about things that we've learned. A couple times, like, you and I have teared up or cried, throughout our podcast episodes that we've done. We've had a lot of laughs. Again, learned a ton, gotten a lot of great perspective. And so what we want to do to kind of like have a rhyme or a reason for what we do here today, is we're going to have kind of 5 different topics or themes from this inspiration that we have gotten through the podcast, and just kind of let her rip through that, going down memory lane and talking about some of the things that we've learned and it has inspired us. So the first one, this is called the Hockey Think Tank Podcast. So we talk a lot of hockey. We talk a lot of hockey. And so I want to talk about hockey development, and I want to talk about some of the people that we've brought on and some of the things that we've learned from a hockey standpoint. And so I just want to first off, talk about a few of the guests that we've had on, because we do have some newer listeners who might not know who some of the people are that have gotten on here, but we've had guys like some of the top hockey development names in the world on our podcast. So kind of starting off, Adam Nicholas. Adam Nicholas is the head player development skills coach for the Montreal Canadiens. We've had him on probably 3 or 4 times. And
most of any guest, right?
Him, maybe Nar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he's certainly up there.
Up there for sure. Great episodes.
So Adam Nicholas, Brian Keane, who's the head skills coach for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Genius.
Unbelievable hockey mind. We've had him on probably 2 or 3 times too. Adam Oates. Adam Oates, one of the top hockey consultants with all the professional hockey players out there. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer and has done a lot in he's been a head coach in the NHL, and now he's working with all these high level players. And John Lounsbury works with him. We had him on too. Darryl Belfry, another one of the top hockey minds in the game, works with Matthews and Keane and all these elite players. And his was a really, really phenomenal podcast. Dwayne Blais, who is one of the top skills coaches with the Detroit Red Wings, Patrick O'Sullivan, who is a top skills coach with the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. I was actually just texting with him today. Just unbelievable hockey mind for him. So dude,
I gotta watch my feet. You're name dropping over there.
Hey, I'm just talking about some of that. If you're really interested in hockey development, hockey tactics, these guys are incredibly, incredibly gifted in their knowledge of the game. And I should preface this as saying, so we'll put all of these in the show notes, so people can kind of go back to it. If you're driving, don't text this in your notes or take something out and write it down. We'll put this all in the show notes here. But yeah, another hockey development, Mike Kelly, works for the NHL Network, did an unbelievable episode with us on analytics, and he is not only a great guy, but incredibly, incredibly smart. So I'm so fortunate, and we're so fortunate again to have sit in the seats that we're sitting in or have sat in to get to know all of these high level hockey people. I would throw Nar into this too. He was a development coach with the Red Wings for a long time. We'll put him in the college group now since he's the head coach in Michigan. But these are phenomenally smart hockey people. So I'll ask you, do any of these really come to mind, or is there something that you learned, or one of these people that really, stuck out to you as we went through these episodes here?
I remember we had Belfry on, and he talked about, oh man, it was such a good episode, but he talked about how we were teaching from the wrong angle when we were coaching either the breakout or the forecheck. You remember? And he was like, well, if you're working on this, maybe it's coming out of the corner. He just made everybody turn the way that they were looking at breakouts or whatever it was he was talking about, but from 180 degree different angle than I'd ever heard. And I remember it was so simple. And I was like, oh my God, that is so true. Why wouldn't everyone just think of it this way? And then that leads me into the next guy, Adam Nicholas, who said something so profound, why don't more coaching seminars and coaches learn from school teachers on the best way to teach? Because it doesn't matter how smart you are. If you can't disseminate the information, if you can't get the players in front of you to understand what you're trying to get them to learn or do or anything like that, it doesn't matter what I know. Because teaching coaches to be better teachers, I was like, wow, so profound. And I think that could be such a major impactful thing. But obviously all these guys, O'Sullivan was so money. Oates, obviously, Lounsbury, amazing. Just so many different. Keane, hockey genius.
Do you remember
he puts anything on Instagram, I'm like, oh my God, dude, that is so genius.
Do you remember the first episode we did with Kaner where we took an interview between Malcolm Gladwell and I forget the other guy's name at this point, but they were talking about early sports specialization, 10,000 hour rule with Malcolm Gladwell. And the other guy was talking about just how people need multiple sports and how that was the way to go, just in not only becoming a better athlete, but just a well-rounded person. It was a phenomenal debate between the two. And Malcolm Gladwell, the father of the 10,000 hours that everybody, fell in love with for probably a decade, he kind of walked it back, and he was like, I don't know if this is the best thing anymore. And we talked to Kaner about a lot of that stuff, because Kaner also, like the Big Cat, he's very into not just hockey specific tactics, but how can we teach? How can we create environments on the ice? How can we create environments in practice that can help you transfer from the practice to the game? And I think that is one of the biggest things that was a theme between everybody that we talked to is okay, these things are smart and these are things that we need to work on, but how can we actually get these players to use what they're doing in practice where it is going to transfer into the game? They're not mindless practices. Like they're very well thought out. There's a rhyme or a reason. And again, we want to set things up where there's a purpose, where it transfers, right? And that I think was a huge theme of everybody that we talked to. Let's make sure it transfers.
Yes, 100%. Like, it's everything we talk about all the time, just from a life standpoint too. You don't want to just do things to do things. Intention is literally everything. And so if you're a coach designing a practice, there's 1,000 ways to skin the cat, but you want to have the best way that will translate to actual things that are going to work in a game and help the players think the game differently, or whatever your goal of said drill is, right? There's so many different ways you can do it. But if you put some thought behind it and some intention, you can change that drill and change the outcomes, change the inputs, whatever it is, to focus on the things that you're trying to focus on in that specific drill. And that will change the game for your players rather than them just doing it to do it because I said so.
Yep. That is one thing I tell my players all the time. Don't just do the drill because that's what was drawn up on the board. Do the drill with intention. And that's why as a coach, it's so important to talk about the why. Like, here's what I'm going to draw up, but here's how this is going to transfer to the game. Here's why it's important. That's got to be a huge, huge part of every drill that you're talking about and that you're introducing to your players. So if you are a hockey nerd like Vechs and I, or you have a passion about hockey tactics, hockey development, hockey coaching, those are just unbelievably phenomenal episodes to learn about the game. And so that was the first one we want to talk about. So that's number one, hockey development. The second thing that we really wanted as a goal for our podcast. So these are all kind of like goals of our podcast, right? One, we want to teach people about hockey and make them better in the hockey realm. Number two is like, we really wanted to inform people and bring on guests that can help us all with our physical and mental health. Right? Our physical and mental health is so incredibly important. And so we are so fortunate to have brought on some people who are unbelievable experts in the field. Elite in the sense of not everybody's elite in youth hockey. Elite in the sense that these people are the best at what they do. And so let's start with physical health. And this is like Vechs is like, this is his jam. This is his jam. Like Mike Boyle out in Boston is the OG. He's the OG, right? He is the OG strength coach that Vechs, he's the person that you looked up to the most. The fact that we got him on, incredible, right? We had Brian Galivan, who might be the smartest strength coach out there in the world.
Dude,
potentially.
Like absolutely killing the game. GVN performance, especially Brian in Michigan, what he's doing there. It's
the head of sports science for the National Development Program. And, it's incredible what he's done. So that was a phenomenal episode. Matt Nichol, I would say, is the top strength coach in Canada. He, is the strength coach for so many NHL players. He's got a great presence on Instagram. Like, he's
amazing guy,
unbelievable guy.
Can't say enough good things about him. Ever since we had him on, I talked to him, quite often via social media, DMing back and forth. And like, he is such a genuine dude. I 100% realize why all of his athletes trust him and would run through a wall for him. And it comes across clear in all of his social media videos. So
yeah, for sure.
Very cool.
And then Don Jupp, Austin Matthews trainer when he was in Arizona.
Jeff Lavecchio, Austin Matthews, same thing, whatever. Yeah, but he worked.
He also was Vechs' trainer growing up a little bit too. So
Paul Stasny worked with Stas, Turnbull, months, unbelievable guy.
Yeah,
really.
So
really
if you are a strength coach or that's something that interests you, these were phenomenal dudes. Anything that really stands out from any of those interviews that we did? Obviously, this is your domain. This is something that you're extremely passionate about. What's your biggest takeaway from having those guys on?
I mean, with all of them, they're all so humble, and they're all looking for like, what's going to get my guys to be the best, all of them. And what I think is Mike Boyle is so outspoken and always like leading from the front and always pushing the boundaries. But what is so cool about him is that if he finds out new information, that something he's been doing the last 8 years it's not as good or it's outdated, he will immediately switch to what all the science is saying now and everything, like immediately, and say, hey, we're not doing it that way anymore. And he's not embarrassed that he was doing it that way, because that way was the best known way at the time. And he's always pushing boundaries. I just think that, he's the godfather for me of like athletic strength coach, performance coach, making the weight room translate to different sports. He trains all different sports. And I just think really important. And his books really, really opened my eyes and they literally changed my life. I say it all the time, constantly comment on Twitter. He probably thinks I'm like a stalker, but I'm like, dude, like literally his training completely changed how I played and felt on the ice by switching to like his style, which, I've adopted that, and then, brought in some other things that I believe in, and it just changed my life. So I can't say enough good things about Mike Boyle. It was a great episode.
There we go. And then that's the physical side, but mental health is something that if you've been with us for, 5 episodes or you've been with us for 300, hopefully you understand how important we believe talking about mental health is, and how important it is to bring on people that can help you if you're going through some stuff too. And so we've had some psychologists on, we've had some sports psychologists on. And so if that is something that you're looking for or passionate about, or maybe looking for some information on at this point, we've had some unbelievable people. Kelli Gast from up in Moorhead, Minnesota. Dr. Jason Selk, who we just had on a couple episodes ago. He's won a World Series with the St. Louis Cardinals as their mental performance coach. Cassidy Preston. From up in Ontario. He's a part of our Hockey Think Tank community too. We have a Sports Psych Sunday every Sunday where Cassidy comes on and gives some of his pointers and some of his advice. John Gordon is just one of the top motivational speakers in the world. And we had him on to talk about his book, which is near and dear to me, called Hard Hat, where he talked about George Boyardi, who was the Cornell lacrosse captain that passed away on the field. And then just the fallout from that and how it brought everybody together. And the story that he told was, just inspiring to say the least. It was incredible. Craig Ballantyne is one that was unbelievable. He's got a great following on social media. Matt Caldaroni's been on a couple times. He works with a ton of professional athletes in the sports psychology world. He's a resilience coach. That's what he calls himself, as a resilience coach. And if you have listened to us at all, you know how important we think resiliency is. I lead it in every team building activity that I do. It's the first thing that I talk about. Adam Naylor, who's from out in the Boston area, he works with a lot of people out in Boston. We've had all of these people on because we believe, and not even obviously from a performance standpoint, we're talking about this stuff being important, but also just from a mental health standpoint. I've been through some stuff. Vechs has been through some stuff. We've all been through some stuff. And at one point or another in all of our lives, it's nice to have some perspective from people who have got millions of degrees on these kinds of things. I am a huge believer in therapy. I am a huge believer that it is extremely strong to ask for help. It's not weak to ask for help. It is very strong to ask for help. And so hopefully through the episodes that we've done on our podcast, through some of these guests that we've brought on, we've really hammered in how important we think physical and mental health is for all of us. And we want to make that a priority in this podcast. And so from a mental health standpoint, Vechs, do any of these guests or anything that you've learned through the entirety of having some of these people on, is there anything that sticks out to you?
Honestly, all of them.
Yeah.
anything to do with psychology is I love it, especially sports psychology, performance psychology, anything that's going to help you perform better, feel more confident. I think that stuff is so important because it's the foundation of how the rest of your day will go or how your performance will go and things like that. So I think everyone on that list brought something really important. I would really urge you guys to go to the show notes and listen to those episodes again, because even if you've heard them before and it's been a minute, you will pick up things and remind yourself of things that you can be doing daily, or things that can help you with your resiliency or confidence, or being proactive with your mental health, different things like that. And it can't be understated how important these things are, like living proactively versus reactively. It will change your life if you start to do that. It will change your life. Those are all really good episodes that
yeah, and they all bring something unique and interesting to the table too, right?
Right.
Like Kelli Gast is a certified sports psychologist, and she's also a hockey mom, and can bring that perspective. Like Craig Ballantyne, for me, that was one that really hit home. Like his books that I've read have literally changed my life. Literally changed my life based on the way that I set up my day, how I prioritize things. And like the fact that he came on our podcast, he's a Canadian too, so he gets the hockey thing. That was one for me that had a huge impact on my life. And so really I've
seen the impact, man. Like I remember after we had him on and you got his book and started doing his morning routine, and like you were like dialed ever since then.
I've actually changed it a little bit. Now, first thing I'm doing when I get up is working out. I used to get up and do work, and now I'm getting up and working out first. So I've actually been up last 2 weeks. I've been up at 4:30 every morning to the gym by 5, back by 7 to make breakfast for my kids.
Let's go. That's awesome. And how do you feel right now?
I'm a little tired because I probably need to go to bed a little bit earlier. I am a night owl, I think, by nature. But just like energy wise, like I can already see the difference. Like my body, like just my limbs and muscles and stuff feel a little bit looser. Man, mental and physical health are very intertwined. And when you're taking care of one, usually you're taking care of the other. And so, for sure. Cool. So that's why we want to bring these people on the podcast. So, okay, we talked about hockey. We talked about mental and physical health. The other goal that we've had, and we've said this from the beginning, number 3, is we want to bring on as diverse of a set of guests as we can and hit you guys with people from all different levels, from all different walks of life. If you've listened to this podcast for a long time or a short amount of time, you know that probably the word that we talk about the most is perspective. Perspective is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. And so we wanted to make sure that we brought on a plethora of guests from different walks of life that have different interests in the game that can help us in all facets of the game and in life, right? And so one of the things from a diversity standpoint that we like really, really, really want to do with our podcast is we really want to elevate and help promote and grow the women's game. Women's hockey is phenomenal. And it's amazing that our first interview was Kendall Coyne-Schofield. She was the first interview that we did. And at that point, they were, fighting with USA Hockey to try and get what, they felt like they deserve from a notoriety standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, from a publicity standpoint, obviously maybe from a financial standpoint too, but they really wanted to grow the game. And now here we are 5 years later, and Kendall is starring in the NHL All-Star game in their skills competition. There is a viable women's hockey league, the PWHL, professionally. And so it's just crazy to see how it has changed from interview 1. We can't even get what we're asking for from USA Hockey to now there's a league, there's women in the All-Star game. Like the women's game is absolutely booming and we want to be a part of that. So wanted to list off some of the awesome women's guests that we've had on here. Okay. So we've had Jocelyn and Monique Lamoureux, 2 USA Hockey Olympians. They're some of the best ever.
Badasses.
Yeah. We've had Jana Hefford, who is one of the top women's hockey players ever. And she's from Canada. And she also is a huge pioneer for getting this women's league going, the PWHL, behind the scenes. What an awesome interview that was. We had Kendall Coyne-Schofield. we had Teresa Feaster. Teresa Feaster is director of hockey ops for Providence College, the men's team. She also was the hockey ops for USA World Junior team when they won the gold medal. Just an unbelievable hockey mind. Maura Crowell, who is the head coach at University of Minnesota Duluth. She's also been a national team coach on the women's side. Alyssa Gallardi, we've had her on, probably 3 times. And she is one of the smartest hockey people that
slays every time.
Yeah, one of the ones that we did was all about defense development. It was all about D development, and she absolutely killed it. And so she's going to be working in the NHL at some point in the next 3 to 5 years. She's that good. So that was really cool to have her on. We had 6 Cornell women's hockey national team players on the podcast at one time. That was really cool to get their perspective on, just on playing for, and they were all Canadian, playing for Team Canada, how much it means to them up there. Just really, really cool. We've had Nick Hensley, who obviously you train, is badass. A women's national team goalie. Yeah, absolute badass. Gordy Stafford, who runs Shattuck women's program, Drew Stafford's dad. He was a phenomenal resource. And again, like we get asked all the time, can you provide some resources for women's hockey? So we have all these podcasts here listed off, and it'll be on the show notes that really provide a lot of perspective. Amanda Alessi is the associate coach for Quinnipiac, who is a dominant women's program as well. She was unbelievable coming on, just in providing some great perspective on maybe the recruiting side for the girls game. Our bread and butter is the men's side, because that's where I coached and that's where we played. So having her on to give that perspective, along with Maura, who's the head coach at Minnesota Duluth. So we just honestly, we want to bring on guests that give us different perspectives in a lot of different ways. And especially with the women's game, we want to be right at the front lines, right in the trenches with them, helping to promote it, because we believe in it. And it's just going to help to grow our game even better. And that's our goal, is to make the game better. And so just really, really cool to be able to have all these people on, but also just from all walks of life, man. Like, we're talking youth hockey, we're talking pro hockey, we're talking women's hockey, we're talking men's hockey. It's just been really cool to be able to have on this diverse set of guests.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Lamoureux twins are badasses. I follow them on the gram, talk to them every once in a while. Super cool, super hard workers. Clearly you can tell they've earned everything that they've gotten. I really like following them on social media. They always get me going. They're badasses. And Gags, dude, every time Gags come on, she's so awesome. She's such a good speaker too. If you guys have not listened to those, 100% get on those. And obviously Nick Hensley, my girl, trained her for a couple years while she lived in St. Louis. One of the hardest, most hardest working, intentional, just dialed in athletes I've ever worked with, male, female, any level, doesn't matter. She has earned everything she's gotten in this game. It's really cool that she's doing what she's doing right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So support the women's game. And from day one, when we were putting this together, like I said, a huge goal of ours was, let's bring on people in all these different, that can bring in so many different perspectives. And hopefully you feel like we've done that with our guests, and we've just learned so much from them. And so that's number 3, diverse set of guests. That was a goal of ours. The 4th one, we wanted to bring on really, really high level hockey people. We wanted to bring on really, really high level hockey people, and we wanted to bring on people. This kind of goes along with the diverse set of guests, but people from the youth hockey world that are doing some awesome things as well. And so we've been able to bring on people working in the NHL. We've been able to bring on people at the highest levels of college hockey. We've also been able to bring on people from different countries that are leading the charge with their development models in different countries like Sweden and Finland. And we've also been able to bring on people in the youth hockey world that are doing some amazing things. So kind of the high to the low, kind of going along the theme of the diverse set of guests has been really cool. So just want to name off some of the NHL people that we've had on here first. You ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So we've had Martin St. Louis, we've had Paul Stastny, we've had Al Tuck, We've had Brian Giunta. We've had Trent Frederick. We've had Danny Briere, who's the GM of the Philadelphia Flyers. We had Ed Olczyk, who's one of the top people, in the game from a media standpoint, but he's also been a head coach in the NHL. John Butchergross, Mark Dennehy, who's the director of amateur scouting for the New Jersey Devils. We've had players like Danny DeKaiser, Chris Butler. Chris Butler's episode was unbelievable. Like these are some of the retired guys that have had just like unbelievable careers that have come on to share some of their wisdom. Eric Fair, Stanley Cup champion. Robbie Schremp was kind of like the guy who put us on the map, like in being extremely vulnerable with what he did. Seth Appert's a head coach in the AHL. Ryan Hardy's assistant GM for the Maple Leafs in the NHL. Tim Peel, NHL ref. Like just these unbelievable hockey people that we've been able to bring on. Just really, really cool. So do any of these kind of like ring a bell to you? Like any stories or any of these episodes that you thought you could think of right now?
I mean, I thought all of them were so good, but I think Butler's was really good. Like Butler's is a top 5 to for sure top 10, no doubt about it. I think just with all the different stuff he talked about, it's motivational, it's inspirational, but also he gave like concrete like examples of things that you can be doing. And his episode was just so good.
Do you remember the story he told about Craig Berube?
No.
So he told a story about Craig Berube, who obviously won a Stanley Cup with the Blues as their head coach. And he was playing in Chicago for the Wolves in the AHL, and Berube was the head coach there. And I think they lost their first 4 games of the season. And so Butts was like one of the leaders on the team. So Berube calls him into the locker room, and, Butts is expecting to get kind of just because Berube's a big, tough, intimidating guy, expecting to kind of get reamed out. And Berube was like, go have fun. Let's make sure this is a culture thing. And you guys need to get together. You guys need to form some camaraderie and some relationships. Like take the boys, go have some fun. That's really important right now. And so they did. And he's like, he just knows people, man. Like he knows the inner workings and the intricacies of a locker room and relationships and how important those things are. And so I'll never forget that story. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, that did jog my memory. It was just all these. I mean, Shrempy, like you said, Shrempy's put us on the map. I want to say it was like episode 7, maybe, or something
like that. Yeah.
And he was super open and honest and vulnerable right after retiring. We both played our last year pro in the same league against each other, and just like super, super open. Talked about a whole lot of stuff. And like you said, it put us on the map. So that's a really good episode. Once we got St. Louis to open up to us, he was just straight fire. And he said, what I always think your favorite quote from the
I was going to bring this up. I always
tell people that he has one of the top quotes. I think probably in your eyes, I would say it's the top quote that we've ever had on this podcast was from Martin St. Louis. Yeah, you drop it because you had it on your list.
Yeah, I mean, basically, he's like, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't always the most skilled, but I was the best at getting better. And like, yeah, Mike dropped that. It was, when I can just imagine like our faces when he said that. We were probably like, oh my God, that is.
And that was when we were wearing our headphones that went over the head with the
our secretary headphones from 1987. Yeah.
Thank God he couldn't see us.
We were doing it over Skype. Yeah. But yeah, I'll never forget when he said that. And obviously Martin St. Louis is my idol. I wore number 26 in college. He was an inspiration for me and probably every other kid under 5'6", that had a dream of playing in the NHL. And so to get him on and to talk about, we talked a lot of awesome hockey stuff with him too, not just about his journey. Like he's an incredible hockey mind. Now he's coaching the Canadians and doing really good things there. And so, yeah, man, like I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the fastest, but I was the best at getting better. And that's why he's a Hall of Famer.
Such a good line. I thought Peelsy was awesome. Tim Peel,
NHL ref. He's got a new podcast too, doesn't he? Like something with Jeremy Roenick.
Snipes and Stripes. Yeah, they're crushing it.
And
he refed. I played in a charity game on Friday night freaking veteran dropped his gloves with me on the opening face-off. So I had to fight a guy, have fun fight, whatever. I'm like, no, in the locker room, he's like, I'm going you. 'Cause the guy used to come in and I used to do free workouts every Sunday for him. I'm like, bro, I had 14 concussions. I don't play hockey anymore for the strict reason I don't want any of this to happen. So I go in to
But he grabbed you anyway?
I go in to take the face off and he whacks me. So I slashed his stick out of his hands. Like, get back. I'm not playing that. And he just dropped them and grabbed me right away. And I'm, all right, man. And I jerseyed him in a quarter of a second. And I was kissing him on top of his head and slapping his back. And I had him down on his knees and I was pretending to feed him. He said I got him one time. My fingers were bloody, but don't poke the bear, baby. Anyways, back to what I was saying, just trying to pump my own tires there. Peelsy was ref in the game, and it was awesome to see him. And just remind me, that was a great episode. And obviously, he had that controversial end of his career, and he was totally open and upfront and talking about that. And I mean, how many people do you have that type of situation and they go on a podcast right after ours and talk about it, which I thought was really cool,
Yeah, totally. So yeah, unreal to have those NHL guys on. We've had a ton of college hockey guys on here. You ready for this list? So people who are really big fans of college hockey, you guys are going to get a load on this one. Are you ready? All right. Pat Ferschweiler, head coach at Western Michigan. Mike Schaefer, head coach at Cornell. Rico Blasi, former coach at Miami when we worked together, and now he's the head coach at St. Thomas. Brandon Dorado, head coach at Michigan. Jared DeMichael, associate head coach at Michigan State. James Marcoux, assistant coach Harvard. Benny Sire, who I worked with, associate head coach at Cornell. Brad Berry, head coach at North Dakota. Giuliano Pagliaro, associate coach at Penn State. Reed Cashman, head coach at Dartmouth. Benny Barr, head coach at University of Maine. Cam Ellsworth, head coach at Norwich Division III. Chris Mayotte, head coach Colorado College. Leon Hayward, assistant coach at St. Thomas. Greg Powers, head coach at Arizona State. George Gwozdecki won 2 national championships as the head coach at Denver. Brent Brecky, head coach, St. Lawrence University. And Stevie Weidler, head coach at Vermont. Felt a lot of unreal hockey guys from the college hockey world on here.
Jesus.
If you love college hockey, this is probably a good podcast for you.
What a sick podcast this is. That's pretty unbelievable. I mean, let's go, guys. And we don't get those people on the show if we don't have all of you listening. Honestly, those people don't come on the show. I mean, they probably do because Toph knows everybody, and I know the rest of the people that he doesn't know.
They're excited to come on the show.
Yeah, but they're excited because they know they're going to make an impact and they're going to help somebody with their journey, and they're all great guys. But we don't get all of those. What? Unbelievable for me. Ones that stand out the hardest, Ferschweiler. I just
First was one of our most downloaded ones that we did.
Right. I just think he was electric. He was awesome. I love him. He's a great guy. And I'm trying to look at that objectively, not just because the head coach of Western Michigan, they're going to have the sickest rink in the entire world, the entire globe. Western Michigan will have the nicest rink. They're going to win national championship in the next 10 years. Also, obviously, Dorado, our boy, my roommate from juniors. Now he's head coach of Michigan, who Toph worked with. He's been on the show a bunch of times. He's one of those guys like Belfry who can look at a problem and change the angle that he's looking at it from and see things in a way that nobody else is seeing them at the time. And just an unbelievable hockey brain, and also just so confident and sure in his abilities to do what he says he's going to do, which just as a person, me knowing him for 20 years now, it's just very, very cool to know somebody who puts in that much work and gains the confidence because they put in all the work, and then they just continue to execute over and over and over. So love him too. Yeah,
it's really cool to have people on that I worked with as well. You talk about Shafe, you talk about Rico, talk about Nar. Nar is one of the most downloaded episodes that we did. I think it was episode maybe 200 or something like that. Really cool to have Benny Sire on. So Benny and I worked together at Cornell for 5 years, and we actually had our wives on together with us, which was really cool because it gave people a real window into college hockey recruiting from a personal standpoint. And, Benny and I logged a lot of miles together. Benny and I talked to each other more than we talked to our wives when we were working together about our team, about planning and recruiting for future teams and stuff. And he's one of the best people in college hockey, bar none, no question. Just incredible. And like, honestly, like you look at some of these people that we've had on here, you look at Benny Barr. Benny Barr, when we had him on, he just took over at the University of Maine and had just moved up that way after, helping build national champion teams at other colleges, specifically at Union and at UMass. And then he helped resurrect Western Michigan too, one of the top recruiters in the game. And then he gets this job up in Maine, and within 2 years, they're already a top 5 team in the country. Right. And so it was really cool to get him on before they even played a game. and he was great, just really open and honest. And yeah, man, like it was really cool to get a lot of these college guys in here. I'm, extremely, extremely passionate about college hockey, having played it, having coached it, and knowing so many people, so many great people in the game there. And so really, really cool to have those people on. And then also, we wanted to bring on a lot of youth hockey people that are doing some great things in the youth hockey world, and so like one of the most, I would say most feedback heavy episodes that we actually just did with Brett Beebe, who helps run the LA Junior Kings. Like that was a phenomenal episode. We had on Brian Yandel, who does the Rink Shrinks. He's out in Boston. That was a great episode. We had 2 Minnesota guys, like pure community model Minnesota guys, Mike Terwilliger, who's the head coach in Eden Prairie, and Jay Hardwick, who's the head coach at Warroad. And I think most people know Warroad by this point. Just a phenomenal hockey town in Minnesota. We've had some USA Hockey guys on. We've had Bob Mancini on a couple times. Those you talk about feedback, those were incredible. Roger Grillo, another USA Hockey guy we've had on. Yeah. And John O'Sullivan's another one. John O'Sullivan runs Changing the Game Project. And this isn't specifically a youth hockey one, but his is in the top 5 downloads of all time. And he just talks about youth sports culture in general. And it provided people so much perspective on how to navigate the journey. So like if you're struggling with just youth sports and how to survive and how to navigate it, that's a great one. John O'Sullivan. And he has a podcast too, that's really, really good. So we've also been able to bring on people from other countries to talk about their youth hockey models. So Tommy Niemela from Finland, and Tobias Johansson from Sweden, who's also running Norway hockey right now. Like their episodes, again, when it comes to like downloads, were hugely downloaded, just because of the perspective they brought from their countries and what they're doing, right? Because per capita, the Scandinavian countries are kicking everybody's ass in terms of the amount of elite hockey players that are out there. And yeah, man. So just getting perspective, again, diverse set of guests, pro guys, the women's game, college guys, youth hockey. It's been really cool to have a lot of these people on. Nick Petraglia, he's running Ohio Junior Blue Jackets. Chris Collins is running Bishop Kearney, which is one of the hockey academies up in Rochester, New York. Really cool to have so many of these great people on. So cool.
Man, we've got a great show here.
Oh, I like it. So, okay. So that's number 4, just like high level people all the way down to youth hockey, who they are high level hockey people as well. And then lastly, the 5th thing that Vechs and I, as far as like goals for what we wanted to accomplish in this podcast, and hopefully we've done this, is we've wanted to get in the trenches with you, and we've wanted to be extremely vulnerable. We've wanted to be no bullshit. We've wanted to really open ourselves up to you guys, because we have had so many experiences in this game, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and things that we've learned from, things that have hurt us, things that, we wouldn't wish upon our worst enemies that have happened to us. We've really wanted to be just really open, really honest, really personable, really vulnerable, to make this a real podcast that you can relate to, that we've had shared experiences, that when we're sharing something that we went through, it clicks something in your head like, wow, man, like I've been through that too. And, oh, they got through it through doing X, Y, or Z. Maybe I can try that in my own life. And so we've brought our family on. We've brought plenty of people from our family on to help you guys to get to know us, to share some stories. Again, this is not just a individual hockey podcast. It takes a village, right? It takes a village to build a hockey player. It takes a village to build a hockey team, hockey organization. And I thought it was really cool that we've been able to bring some of our family members on. And then we just really wanted to bring on people that had incredibly inspiring stories too, opening them up to some of the hardships that they've been through. You talk about like a Tyler Parks, another one of the most downloaded episodes that we've ever done. And nobody's ever heard of Tyler Parks, but Tyler Parks was a JV goaltender in St. Louis at 17 years old. And he's played how many years of pro hockey? He played over in Europe. He's played years in the AHL. Are you kidding? Like, his story was incredible. We talk about Jack Smiley. Jack Smiley had a stroke, right? And he's on his path to recovery right now, and talking about his path to recovery.
Update on him. I think he's going to intern with me this summer. He's going to move to St. Louis. He's going to intern with me this summer. Yeah, pretty exciting. So unbelievable. Really cool. You want to follow somebody who's just got just an unbelievable outlook on life. Follow that guy on Instagram.
Yeah. Smiley. Like Ricky Mendez we had on, who's a motivational speaker. Like, that's one of the most downloaded ones that we've had. Just, like high energy, like incredible. Josh Paul, sled hockey player, sled hockey Olympian. How many Olympic gold medals does he have right now? 3 or 4?
I think 3 or 4 billion. No,
3 or 4 billion. Yeah. 3 or 4 billion.
He's literally the most decorated hockey Paralympian, I think, ever. Yeah.
Probably. Savage. I mean, he's the captain of the team right now. He's been the captain of the team for years. Just a phenomenal episode. Like Mike Ratchuk, we just had on, he talked about his battle with alcoholism and how he, endured that and has come out stronger on the other side. Like, talk about a story there. We had my youth coach, Stan Stiopkin, my crazy Russian coach. Like, that's one that everybody's loved. We talk about him all the time and all the crazy stuff that he did that helped us become the hockey players that we are. And so, like, honestly, like, we really wanted this to be personal for us. And we wanted it to be personal because we wanted to have shared experiences with you guys. And so we talk about, like I said, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and open ourselves up, to make sure that we're, honest and we're not feeding a line of crap with this stuff. Like, this is stuff we've lived. and that's why I think it's really important. Like, even from a mental health standpoint, like, I've talked about my struggles with mental health. I've talked about how I've been to therapy, because, like, I really believe that, like, it is strong to ask for help. And if there's one person that went to therapy because I talked about it, I feel like if we've done nothing else but help that one person, then we've done a good deed, and we're making a positive impact. Right. And so just to be able to have that personal spin to the things that we do here, I think it really has helped it to get the legs that it's had.
Yeah. Kind of acts as therapy being on this podcast sometimes too. Just this, just talking, especially over the years when we were, coaching or anything like that. So it's pretty funny.
And we've been through a lot, guys. Like, you look at like Vechs and him growing his business, and me with all the shit that I've done in the last 5 years. Like, man, like, I was working in youth hockey as a program director, and I was a former coach. And then I was, at Michigan, and now we're doing hockey full time. Like, you guys have seen the gamut in our lives. And so I do think it was really cool to involve our family in a lot of what we're doing. The Uncle Tim episode, if you haven't listened to the Uncle Tim episode, that's a must listen.
People love the Uncle Tim episode.
Or hate, love or hate. Love the episode, love him, hate him. Yeah. Based on his views of youth hockey, and he's been doing this for a long time, and it was a great conversation that had so much feedback from people on here.
Like, people will be like, "Where's Uncle Tim been?"
We gotta have Uncle Tim back on.
We gotta have UT back on. If you guys want UT back on, tell us that in the community. We'll have him back on. Yeah,
we'll have him back on for sure. But like my younger brother Max, who has special needs. he came on the episode, or he came on the podcast and had a banger of an episode. Emotional one for me. Geez, like he's talking about when he was bullied and stuff when he was younger, and
Great
baby.
episode.
Yeah, that was just you talk about perspective, man. Like that's perspective. Having the opportunity to have our moms on, having the opportunity to have our dads on, had my sister on, like just really cool to be able to share our lives with you guys. And that's why we continue to do it. It's why we love doing this every Tuesday night at 7:00 Central Time. And yeah, man, anything else to add before we head her off here?
Just thank you guys. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for participating. All the people that DM us, email us, share the show. Like, we can't explain how important that is with what we're trying to do. Toph and I have spent a lot of time invested in just trying to bring on all these people so that everybody can get better for free with things, people, ideas, whatever it may be that we know will help you, the listener. Like, we wish that we could have been listening to in the car with my dad or my mom driving me to hockey practice. I would have done anything to hear from guests like we have on every week. And that is why we do it. I literally, I want to be Jay Verde. Like I've talked about, on this podcast many times. He was the only guy that I'd ever known who played high level hockey in St. Louis, and he came back and practiced with my AAA team growing up 4 times over 3 or 4 years. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever that somebody came back and was teaching us what they were doing at the Division I level, which I had no idea even what that was at that time, right? We didn't know anything in St. Louis. It was embarrassing. So I love trying to just disseminate as much information as we can, because I wish selfishly that I had that when I was a kid. That's one of the main reasons I love doing this. Just want to help you guys. So keep sharing the show. Please share any episode. If we get 3 bangers in a row, share all 3 bangers. If we're delivering, don't be afraid to share that show. Sharing is caring. We love you guys.
We do love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Happy 300th to you, my man. I will say that, take a bow. I will say that it has been really cool to be on this journey with you, man. And it's really cool to find people and talk to people who listen to the podcast all the time. And something I hear all the time is you two compliment each other so well. Fire and ice, baby. Fire and ice.
Stinky in the brain.
But it's so cool. I've been stopped multiple times, people who have no idea what I look like, but I'm in a rink with them and they're hearing me talk to somebody else. And they're like, "You've got to be Topher." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And they're like, "I listen to the podcast. I noticed your voice." I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool."
Awesome.
Yeah, really, really cool. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. Happy 300th. Vechs, thank you for saying yes to this little venture that we had no idea what we were doing 5+ years ago, but here we are, 300 episodes in, man. Really cool stuff.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.